Do, sir, I don't care.
No, so this is private property.
I don't care what
Answer me now.
you do all you want to me.
Well,
I'm
another
saying
day.
to you, I'm saying
I read, yes, so this is private property.
I'm not reasoning with anyone.
Then a quarrel.
I just give an instruction that once you have that ban, you're not a part of this property.
Okay, so we're not supposed to walk on the beach then?
No.
Not even the water?
No.
Not even the water, right?
No.
So you're gonna
What is?
take me out to the water from
Yeah.
I am making it clear, man. I'm
Yeah.
making it clear that no one, once you're not a part of the property, you're not allowed over there.
Hello guys, welcome to the Real What List. I'm your host Betty. Please kindly consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't. For those who have, thank you so much guys. Now guys, imagine this, being born in Jamaica, the white sand, turquoise water, the kind of beaches people dream about all over the world. And yet, you as a Jamaican, you can't even set foot in most of them without paying or being turned away. Sounds crazy, right? But guys, this is the situation many Jamaicans are facing today, and the internet, especially TikTok, is not having it. On TikTok, people are fuming, guys. One comment said, I quote, "No Jamaican should be locked out of their own shows." Another called it modern day colonialism. And honestly, they're not wrong. The numbers are shocking, guys. According to Jamaican Beach Birthright environmental movement, less than 1%, yes, less than 1% of Jamaicans' entire coastline is freely accessible to the public, and the rest either controlled by hotels, private owners, or fenced altogether, guys. Guys, before we continue, let's just pause and check out what's happening.
Did you guys know that less than 1% of Jamaica's population has access to their beaches in Jamaica? Actually, the number is 0.6% of Jamaica's population, to be exact. And why? Because of colonization. Foreign companies have bought out all the beachfront properties in Jamaica, limiting and preventing access of local indigenous Jamaicans from accessing their beaches, their own beaches. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, the hotels and resorts that are getting built is probably creating jobs, and it's creating, tourism, which is creating economic wealth for the country. Actually, 80% of the wealth created from tourism in not just Jamaica, but all of the Caribbean is moved to Western and foreign countries. I guess this is so triggering for me because oftentimes I hear people who will go to countries like Jamaica and go, oh, there were too many people selling me things on the beaches, and it was just so annoying. Actually, a lot of those people who are selling you souvenirs and trinkets on the beaches used to be fishermen. They used to be independent. But because of hotels and resorts buying up the beachfront properties, they have to resort to selling you rides on jet skis and selling you souvenirs. When we're talking about Jamaica specifically, it's not just beachfront properties that are being purchased by foreign countries and foreign companies. It's also the fact that Jamaica is the world's leading exporter of bauxite, which is the ore of which aluminum comes from. And foreign companies have been mining Jamaica's land for bauxite. And it has taken a toll on the land and its people. And now that it's depleted the land, they're looking to move to more ecologically friendly areas of Jamaica's island. A country that is dependent on tourism for economic stability is a country that is still enslaved, and Jamaica is one of many countries. I mean, this is happening to Puerto Rico, this is happening in the Philippines, it's happening in Thailand, it's happening in Bali. The global south is for purchase. If you are unable to draw the connection between what is happening in Jamaica to what is happening in Palestine to what is happening in Congo and Sudan, you are asleep at the wheel. Because we are in the middle of a global crisis, and this global crisis is now going to end up at our borders because people cannot survive this. This is unsustainable. It is actually very emotional to watch these videos of people in Jamaica who are the stewards of the land. They're not looking to be these rich capitalists. They're looking to just be in harmony with the land, to take care of the land, to enjoy the land. They're not looking to build resorts and hotels. They're just looking to survive. And these are the people, the stewards of the land, that are being displaced. And that's happening everywhere across the global south. And I am constantly wondering what happens when the stewards of the land are gone. What happens to this planet?
I just saw a video of a community meeting in Jamaica where they were talking about access to the beach and talking about sandals, doing this big development and taking more beach access from people. Now, this beach issue has been going on for many years, decades. These big hotels, these big developers come in, promise to give the community some jobs, win over the community that they're bringing this big development. Politicians sell it to the people in the community, and then all of a sudden the people's property suddenly belongs to tourists and the locals are locked out. And they may allow one and two people to, sell their craft items. They may allow one and two people to, continue their entrepreneurial activities somewhere on their property. But the vast population of the community is locked out. Most people will not have jobs there. Most people will not have access to the local facilities in the community that they once had access to. Because now everything, all the community's resources must go towards the furtherance of this development. Now, I think I've articulated my thoughts already in previous videos about how I feel about these developers, whether they're local or foreign, and whether they are of any real benefit to the local community. But what I really want to say is this. I think that we have seen this pattern far too many times for us not to know how to handle it. I think that this kind of pattern has been going on in Jamaica for as long as it has, and we are still allowing ourselves to be talked into these kind of projects by politicians and to be convinced and coerced by developers into these kind of projects that steal resources from our local communities. And the biggest grievance I have is that time and time again, when people discuss these issues, there are those of you who come onto social media to try to convince the people who are being affected and being impacted that it is for their own benefit. And I don't know if some of you are actually mentally ill, because it is mind-boggling to me that you actually believe the things that you are trying to convince people to accept. I had a professor in college who used to say this. Professor Agri Brown used to say, there is no such thing as sustainable development. Development, by its very nature, the way we treat development in the modern world, is not sustainable. We see development, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but we see development as building, tearing down nature, destroying natural resources, and creating these artificial structures. And that in itself is not sustainable. And so they cannot be out. The term sustainable development is misleading. So many of you Jamaicans have been misled. You've been misled by your politicians, and you've been misled by local corporations. You've been misled by foreign investors. You've been misled by everyone. And now you are misleading yourselves by defending the very people who are exploiting you. And I'm at the point now where I even am really not even motivated to do certain kind of content anymore, because I'm preaching the same thing over and over again to people who I want to see have their rights, but they don't really want to have rights. They are okay with being exploited and being subjugated and having their resources stolen. And I am so proud of the people who stood up in that meeting and spoke out, but a lot of you are doing the opposite and welcoming your own exploitation.
Welcome back, guys. And here's the part that stings, guys. It all comes down to an old law. The Beach Control Act from 1956, guys. Written back in colonial times before Jamaica was even independent. Now, guys, this law basically gives landowners control over the beach next to their property. Fast forward to now, and resorts can now legally block locals from walking onto the sand unless they pay, or unless it's one of the very few public beaches left.
Right here, the Blue Lagoon behind me. Today, I have to come here through private access. If this private access closes tomorrow, neither me or you out there will be able to come here and enjoy this Blue Lagoon. Closure of the Blue Lagoon give me personally a devastating hit. My income it chopped right down to less than half my regular income. The bamboo rafting and the motorboat ride, that was the main activity that was done here previously. But since the closure, no more activities.
We used to make enough money to send our children to school, pay our bills. Since the closure, our bills are up. No money to pay them off. Been borrowing money morning, noon, and night. What is happening here is a result of the 1956 Beach Control Act. The Beach Control Act essentially says Jamaicans have no right to beaches. Jamaican, we're born here and live in this country. We should have access to our beaches.
People are suffering, people are starving, so don't know what to do.
In Miami Bay, in other parts of Jamaica, fishermen are being displaced of livelihood. The coastlines of Jamaica be controlled by major private companies, hotels especially.
Let me just quote what a creator on TikTok said. This fight has been going on for decades, but now the stakes are higher. Another explained that hotels aren't even required to let locals get through to the ocean. People online are angry, guys. They're hurt, and they're even embarrassed that the land of reggae, jack chicken, and sunshine, ordinary Jamaicans can't even take their kids to the beach without opening their wallets. But Jamaicans aren't staying quiet. Groups like Jamaican Beach Birthright Movement are taking the matter straight to the courts. They're fighting for places like the famous Blue Lagoon and Bob Marley Beach, arguing that beaches are part of our national heritage and everybody should have the right to enjoy for free, guys. Now, guys, imagine going to court just to touch the sea your grandparents fished in, guys. That's how serious it's gotten. Now, to be fair, guys, the government has tried to improve few public beaches like Harmony Beach Park in Montego Bay, for example. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's free, but it's only open 5 days a week from 9 to 5. Like, what about families who want to go after work or young people on a weekend night? And here's the kicker, guys. Jamaica has almost 500 miles of coastline. 1 or 2 parks, they can't fix decades of restricted access. Now, let's be real, guys. Beaches aren't just tourist spots. They are part of the culture. They are where families picnic, where kids learn to swim, where lovers walk at sunset, and where elders tell stories by the waves. Taking that away or putting a price on it chips away at the heart of Jamaican life. And when you think about it, if the people of Jamaica can't enjoy their own beaches, who are they being preserved for? So guys, talk to me. Do you think beaches should be accessible to everyone, no matter who owns the land around them? Tell me in the comment section, guys. And if you're Jamaican, tell me, what's your favorite beach? And can you still access it today? Drop your thoughts in the comment section, guys. I want this conversation to get louder. Guys, this isn't just about sand and water. It's about identity, heritage, and fairness. The ocean doesn't belong to a corporation or a single person. It belongs to the people. Guys, if you believe in fighting for Jamaican beaches, hit that like button so that many people can see this video, guys. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been The Real What. Please kindly consider subscribing to the channel. Till the next one, guys. Bye.